Another day, another Pokemon card tournament. Today we're going to be going over to Manta Trading for their first ever Ascended Heroes Pokemon card tournament. I'm excited because, you know, there's a whole bunch of new cards now in the game, and there is some distribution and like stock allocation issues right now in terms of the actual physical cards. So we're playing that Miraidon list right here, Turbo Miraidon EX, that we played at the Toronto Pokemon regional tournament that Jesse Parker gave me the night before. So excited to run it back with this deck. And I gotta say, even though we didn't do the hottest at the regional, the deck still feels really good. It's been a while since I played at a Pokemon card tournament, so we're just going for the vibes. You know, we're gonna play for the vibes, and hopefully we don't go 0-5. I've been also having a lot of fun with Marvel Rivals recently. Been farming with Raccoon, Punisher, and some of the other support casts. I have to master Deadpool. Deadpool is my favorite superhero of all time, or anti-hero. Anyways, common question of the day before we get going to the Pokemon card tournament to play some Turbo Miraidon EX. What is your favorite superhero? What is your favorite superhero or supervillain or superhero movie? Let me know in the comments down below. Mine has definitely got to be Deadpool. I also love Rocket Raccoon. We're going to interview a bunch of players as well, see what they think about the new cards from the set, the new decks, and there's a whole lot of other drama that went down recently, but maybe we'll save that for another video. And before we get into the tournament, I just want to give a quick shout out to the channel sponsors before I forget. We got Comfy Hobbies and Endgame. If you guys are looking for sleeves or Pokemon cards at all, you guys can click the links in the description down below to save some money. But yeah, I think I saw 42 or 48 players registered so far, so pretty busy night. Typically the tournaments at Manta are like 5 to 6 rounds, usually 6 rounds. So I've been playing online a bit, and it's so weird. It is so weird because for EUIC, because of distribution issues, they made EUIC not be Ascended Heroes format. And if I was going to EUIC, I'll be so annoyed, because if you play Pokemon trading card game live, it's Ascended Heroes, and you're gonna be playing with those cards for like 2 months on live, and then it's not gonna give you any good preparation for EUIC. So as someone who's not going, I don't mind. We're gonna get to play with all the fun new decks and stuff. If you guys have any deck recommendations, let me know. And I already have some fun stuff I'm cooking up already. And I already know we're gonna be cooking up a different kind of Miraidon list for Miraidon Monday, starting this Monday, with the Mega Electros EX. That sounds pretty fun. And I've really been enjoying, there's one deck in particular I've been really enjoying. It's the Mega Meganium EX. Kind of shifting away from the Venusaur package in the Venusaur deck, and we're going more all in on the Meganium. We got Teal Mask, we got Wellspring Mask in there. I'll have a list on screen right now. This list got first place at a City League. I've been having a lot of fun with it. It's destroying Dragapult, so that's always good, because Dragapult's supposedly going to be really good, and it's always fun to play, you know, an underrated starter Pokemon. I don't know what it is, but Meganium, Chikorita, Bayleaf, they always just get so much hate for no reason. Round one's about to start. We're playing against Gavin. This is one of my favorite tournament organizers at one of the competing stores in the area, and I've played against him a couple of times. I think the most memorable matchup we had was like at a League Cup downtown, so that was fun. All right, Gavin, good luck today. Good luck.
Good luck, good luck.
So round one just wrapped up. We played against the homie Gavin, and I was not expecting a Miraidon EX mirror match today. That was one of the last matchups I was expecting to see. I was hoping to see everyone on like new Ascended Heroes decks today, but it doesn't look like too many people have put in the new cards or proxies just yet. So in this matchup, you want to go first because we want to get those Magnemites set up. And in this matchup, the big win condition is who can take the first 2 prizes and then keep snowballing that momentum. And in this case, I lost the coin toss, which is pretty devastating, but he went first, set up his board, and on my side of the field, I realized that I had a pretty decent chance at hitting that Mew EX with a Photon Blast with my Miraidon. So that's exactly what we did. We started the 2-prize race, and we just kept it chugging along. Here's a look at some of the hands that we had, and I was drawing pretty well. I was sad I prized my Mew, but at the same time, he prized his Fez. So our draw was kind of slacking, and yeah, by the end of it, we just took the last 2 prizes, and we won the game. Round number 2 just wrapped up. We played against Vert, and Vert is a player where whenever I think about him, I think of grass-type Pokemon. He loves his Venusaur, he loves his Venomoths, he loves green. So I was expecting to see Venusaur or Meganium on the board today, and there was a little creature, but it was Joltik, and it was lightning type. He was playing Joltik Goldengo. If you guys aren't familiar with the deck, most people play Goldengo without the Joltik, but if you're familiar with the seniors first place division from Worlds, I believe that player from China won first place at Worlds with Jengo, it's called. And it's a deck that, you know, you get the benefit from going first if you have to, so you can get those dangos out turn 2, or if you're going second, which you won the coin toss, which I was happy about because I got to choose to go first, he did the jolting charge. And I'm sure you guys have had those mistakes in your gameplay where you kind of think too hard and you overcook and you're going outside of the box when you really don't need to. Sometimes you just need to keep it simple, and I made things complicated. So he jolting charged his Pikachu, loaded that bad boy up with energies, looking thick like the thick Pikachus from back in the day, those big cheeks.
What did he say?
I decided to go for the weird play of Boss's Orders, the Pikachu, so that way I wouldn't have to worry about, you know, leaving it with 10 HP later on. So I had the opportunity to take the first 2 prizes with Amp You Very Much, and I didn't do it. To make matters worse is I attached for turn onto the hands with that decision in mind. So if I was going to arm press anyways, I could have put that important energy onto another Pokemon like Miraidon. So when it comes to those, you know, once per turn actions like energies, attachments and stuff, that really think it through. And honestly, sometimes you just want to keep it simple. Me overcooking made me lose the game. By the time it was the end game, I went for this Blood Moon line, swung in his Genesect, and he had it by the end. He was able to go for 300 damage onto my Blood Moon and clean me up there. So we got punished. We are now 1-1 at Manta, and round 3 is going to start pretty soon. We have 4 minutes, but before we do, you have a quick interview with the homie, Jason Schaub.
I haven't played Pokemon in a bit. I've been playing a lot of One Piece recently, but getting back into Pokemon. Regional just wrapped up. I played Poltzard to that. Shout out LDF, he gave me a 60. Just rocked with it because I was going to play Sterile Edge, and then in testing I was like, this deck just loses to Poltnor, and I really didn't want to have a bad matchup with the Poltnor because Toronto locals, they love playing Dragapult, they love playing Gardevoir. Gardevoir is fine if you can set up 2 Charizards, and then you have Dragapults ready, and then you can Phantom Dive only when you need to, and then usually just go Boss Guardy, and then by that point the Gardevoir player is so far behind. Poltnor matchup was still a bit shaky, but I put in a Psyduck, and bad Poltnor players will actually not know what to do. Usually you want to avoid the Psyduck, or just put 6 damage counters on it, and then you can Halucha later and then blow your board up. Funny thing actually happened, round 3 of the regional, I hit Yoshiyuki Arai. He was like one of the best Japanese players. He was on Poltnor, and he played that matchup perfectly. He wasn't killing anything, so he took a nasty 6 prize turn like both games, in game 1 and game 2, and I was like, okay, I'm just sad. But we still clutched it up at the end. I got my first day 2, top 128. I lost my win into cash, but it is what it is. First day 2, I'm happy about it.
Nice, congrats, man. That's huge.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Nice.
Ascended format.
Yeah, how are you doing for this tournament? What's your deck choice today?
I'm playing Zoroark today, just very safe pick. I think a lot of people are expecting that Zekrom's going to be a huge buff for the deck, which I think it is, but Zoroark, I think it still has some consistency issues despite drawing so many cards because it's so reliant on having turn 1 Poffin, setting up your Zoroarks. It depends on if you're playing the Evo package. I know my friend Josh is on Evo package today, but I'm playing the Cleffa and the Serrano package, so hopefully that works out in my favor. I'm currently 1-1. I got rolled by Grimstar round 1, and then round 2 I hit Chantel, and then she's playing Festival Lead, and she went draw pass. So Flame Body Cannon just cooks that matchup if I could get it set up. But I'm excited. I think Ascended is going to shake up the meta. I think a lot of people are a little bit disappointed that TPCI kind of messed up the whole release schedule things. And a lot of people were excited to go to EUIC in Seattle to play the new format, but we're still stuck in the same format, which I don't think it's a bad format. I just think it's really stale. People are getting really bored of this format. Meganium's going to be pretty good too, and Feraligatr I think is going to be decent as well.
Are you going Meganium or are you on Feraligatr?
I actually love Chikorita. I know I'm in the minority there, but I love Chikorita, so hopefully we'll make a Meganium Venusaur deck or Turbo Meganium one day.
Oh my god, Recon's right there.
Oh, Force Reprint.
Oh, that's
oh my god.
That's a great pack.
Oh, no.
Oh, another IR.
Nothing, okay.
Round 3, here we go. Good luck, bro. Round 3 just wrapped up. We'll get to the recap in just a second, but we got to talk to the homie William, who just blessed me, anointed me with a beautiful Place Stamp Prize Pack 8 EX Pokemon, which I'm going to get a lot of use out of. This might become my main deck after rotation because I was a Zacian believer before Miraidon, so we go Zacian, Miraidon, Zacian again, maybe Miraidon again in 2028. Top Zacian EX. Take a look at this. And is this an endgame sleeve too? I feel the texture. I love it. Thank you, William. I appreciate it. And yeah, we're going to interview William real quick. We've interviewed him on the channel before. We'll get his thoughts on today's tournament and what he thinks about the new set that just released today and the upcoming format. So William, tell me first of all about your deck choice for today and how today's tournament is going so far.
Today's deck choice, I decided I was originally going to play Goldango originally, but as I was thinking over what was one of my favorite decks from back then, and I gotta say Marnie's Grimmsnarl takes the cake always. As soon as I heard there was like a new Mega Frostlass, I was like, yeah, that's the next best thing that could work. Like with one of my friends telling me to saying, hey, it's like Blood Moon, but in reverse. You can use it at like the very beginning, just to onslaught your opponent, which funny enough, in my round 3, I onslaughted my opponent.
So you're playing Marnie's Grimmsnarl with Mega Frostlass?
Yes.
Nice.
It was a real cake taker. I thought it was really fun. Even though it has the rare chances of finding the 1 water energy, I feel like with the new format, I will put in my intake. With the Petrol, it's like Arven, because people have been saying it's like a brand new Arven. It's not gonna do very as effective as Arven, but still works. So far, my record is 2-1. I've been doing pretty good. Round 1, I faced my good homie Jason. Round 2, I faced a couple, let's just say a couple of other homies, but one of them was playing like Raging Bolt, the still same back then meta, which I thought was okay. But then round 3, I don't know how I managed to slip by, but it was like Festival Elite, and I'm like, there's no shot I won that. Kind of sad to see some of the good cards go down, such as Arven and that. Because that was like my very first starting point with the first rotation, to seeing Arven, and I'm like, yeah, Arven can do well. But now seeing it go, it's like, it's depressing. It's like, I really love Arven. Out of all of them that surprised me, I'm gonna have to say Miraidon, for good reasons. You know me, Raging Bolt. I had some good moments here and there. It's like, literally Unga Bunga deck of all time. The one deck I'll say I will not miss the most is goodbye, Yardy. Thank you, you had your fun.
Round 3 recap, we played against Samir on his Blaziken EX box, and it's a pretty funky deck. It has Blaziken EX as the main like energy acceleration Pokemon, and he also has Mega Frostlass in there as well, which is pretty funky. And he won the coin toss, chose to go second. We want to go first, that's always the game plan, and we were just able to blow him out of the water. We were able to go through our deck a whole bunch, play generators, and then he played Turn 1 Buddy Buddy Puffin, and it was looking pretty bad. No supporters or nothing. We ended up doing Ampy Very Much 3 turns in a row, and that was the game. So we played a second game for fun, and we cooked them again as well. So we 2-0'd him. That's our game for round number 3. Round 4 is about to go down, and I think I know what Vincent's playing today. I have a very small inkling. All right, Vincent.
Good luck, good luck.
We played against Vincent. Vincent, a fellow Miraidon maniac, Miraidon enjoyer. He's been playing Miraidon on and off, similar to me, over the last couple of years, and he was on Miraidon today, which really caught me off guard. Was not expecting to see that. He won the coin toss in the mirror. We played the exact same 60. It is Jesse Parker 60. So in the mirror, it's the same game plan as typical. You want to go 2-2-2, and in this scenario, playing Squawkabilly is almost like an early death sentence, because if you get amped for 3 and you have to explode your Magneton at some point, that's 4 prizes very fast. I was able to not play my Squawk, have a successful turn 1. He gave me first, which is not what I was expecting either. You kind of want to go first, but going second is pretty good too. It's not a huge difference, because of course, you know, I went second in round 1 and was able to win that game. It came down to just me being able to bundle his Blood Moon out of the active, and my own Blood Moon could swing into whatever I wanted for knockout. That was it. His generators cooked a bit better than mine. He went generators for 2, generator for 0, and I went generator for 1, generator for 0, and both of our Magnetons exploded for 2. So very similar in terms of like energy acceleration on the board, but me going first helped. I didn't whiff an energy attachment, and he did. We won. Our record is now 3 wins, 1 loss. We have 2 more rounds left to go. Pretty sure there's no other Miraidon EXs in the room. I think there's just us 3, but if we hit a 4th, that'd be pretty cool if we just end up becoming the Miraidon master of the day. Let's try and close out and see how things go. Round number 5 just wrapped up. We played against George, and George was on Joltik Box. And very fittingly enough, this list was given to him by Vincent, my opponent from last round. So Vincent got the last laugh against me here because we had a pretty close game. He won the coin toss, got to go second, which is what you always want to do with Joltik Box. And I got a pretty nice start, and I was actually able to initiate the 2 prize race because he did Jolting Charge. I did my Ampy Very Much, but he had some sauce in his list which was annoying for my deck to deal with. So when you tandem unit, he brought out double Pikachu EX. So Pikachu EX's ability is just so hard to play around for this version of Miraidon. It's rough. And on top of that, when he plays Arven, he was able to grab Bravery Charm, which makes his Miraidon 270, which is even harder for me to knock out because I can't use my Photon Blaster Miraidon to knock out his Miraidon anymore. I have to rely on something like a Blood Moon or Suluna with a Defiance Band. But my luck was not on my side at the start because I had to put my Defiance Band on my Miraidon. I couldn't put it on a Blood Moon. And then Zekrom got discarded earlier on. Zekrom was not able to get high usage out of it either, because that would have been the only other way to knock out a Miraidon with a Bravery Charm. One of the questionable plays I kind of made was I exploded my Magneton for 2 energies when I didn't necessarily need to. And I knew at one point I could have used the Magnemite or Magneton as a 1-prize attacker to hit into a Pikachu EX with 10 HP. So by exploding that, I've lost that line of attacking with a 1-prize attacker, and that kind of basically sealed the deal for me to actually win the game. Because he could just go 2-2-2 or 2-2-1. He could swing with his Pikachus twice, and then at the end game just clutch up with the Pikachu at the end. So yeah, I really did not need to explode the Magneton. Lesson learned, you know, always try and learn a lesson whenever you lose. Sometimes you have to think outside of the box. And this time I was cooking, but I was cooking properly. I just didn't execute properly. That could have been all the difference, because not being able to take 2-2-2 in this matchup is pretty scuffed. I would basically need him to prize very specific cards for me to have a catch-up game, because he was getting perfectly set up as well. So we're back home. I'm going to get you guys recapped on round number 6 and the final results for that tournament, including who won with the tournament and with what deck. But before we do, wanted to yap about the Pokemon TCG with you guys for just a second. And since you made it to this portion of the vlog, you probably really enjoy the Pokemon TCG. So I know I asked you guys the comment question of the day already, which is, who is your favorite superhero? But if you want to have a little Pokemon discussion in the comments down below, I'd love to hear what you think about this next thing too. So how do you feel about the current format in the Pokemon TCG? Like Jason Shaw said earlier in the vlog, Pokemon has gotten a little bit stale for a lot of players. We have these like big 3-4 decks right now: Goldengo, Gardevoir, Dragapult EX, and of course, yeah, you can say Charizard, Donzard's up there too. And as someone who's always building decks and, you know, anti-meta decks, rogue decks, fun decks all the time, although I'm not always uploading when I should be. As a deck builder, I'm always finding new ways to build decks, so I don't mind the format being the way that it is in terms of no new cards getting added right now, because I'm always just finding new decks to build. But if you're one of those players that only really plays like 1 to 3 decks at most, and you continuously see the same decks again and again and again, and you know, you're kind of tired of the stuff, you're not building decks, you're not sort of innovating or you know, cooking, as they say, I get it. And as I mentioned earlier in this video, if I was going to EUIC, the European International Championships, if I was paying basically like $1,000 to compete at that, because airfare, hotel, the tournament fee, all the other stuff, if I'm paying like $1,000, I was hoping, if I was a player, I would be hoping that it's going to be a new format, a fresh format, a format that actually aligns with Pokemon Trading Card Game Live. I don't know what the hell Pokemon is thinking by not having Live actually be a usable client for competitive players for practice, because this is a thing that so many top players have said over the last couple of major streams and over the years, that Pokemon TCG Live is one of the best and most popular way for players to get practice. So why the hell isn't there a way to practice for EUIC on the client? You're playing with cards that you can't use. They're going to be stuck with this format for a while. If you want to actually get real testing, you have to meet with homies and stuff in person or test against yourself, and that just seems really counterintuitive as a player. Easiest solution Pokemon can do is they have like two ladders: Ascended Heroes ladder and then EUIC ladder, similar to how there's quick play and ranked, and they even have that sort of like GLC style of format on the game. I know some people would make the argument that, you know, Pokemon TCG Live doesn't make Pokemon any money, but at the end of the day, the people who are investing hours and hours in time and money playing the Pokemon TCG, the Pokemon TCG Live game is sort of like a companion app for the TCG player. So even though Pokemon might not be physically making actual transactional money, because Pokemon TCG Live isn't pay to play, it's completely free, players are still getting so much use out of it from playing on it and stuff, you know. So it's just a huge slap in the face to the consumers, in my opinion. There's things out there that are known as like money makers or loss leaders. Think about like how Costco has those $5 rotisserie chickens, or you know, there's like just places out there that have cheap stuff that will get people in the door and give customers extra good satisfaction. Pokemon TCG Live keeps players and collectible consumers and collectors in the ecosystem of Pokemon. If there was no Pokemon TCG Live, not necessarily a lot of people would be able to play the game. They don't have access to locals, or they don't like going to locals. Maybe they just really enjoy TCG Live. And there's players out there I've done it personally. I've spent a lot of money on code cards in the past. You don't have to anymore, but I've been spending money on code cards, Pokemon cards, all this stuff. I'm not gonna be likely to be buying all these new cards and new decks if I can't play or get proper practice on Pokemon TCG Live. And let's face it, Pokemon is not some small indie company. This is the biggest franchise in the world. Pokemon is one of the biggest revenue generators in the world. The fact that they don't invest more in their online client, it's disappointing. It's disappointing. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. That was my little Sneaker Talk TCG rant for the day. If you guys want more rants, let me know. But yeah, discuss in the comments down below, how do you feel about this current situation with Ascended Heroes format being not the same as EOIC, how we're not going to be able to even use them for cups and challenges for like the next 2 months as well, something like that, and just not having access to their physical product. Like I think Pokepad is like a $10 to $20 item trainer card, which is crazy. But at the end of the day, if players are paying like $400 to $1,000 to compete at IC, I'm sure paying crazy amounts, maybe like $40 to $60, whatever, for a playset of Pokepads is the least of their concerns. At least you're gonna get to like play with the new cards and whatnot. But yeah, that's my opinion. Let me know yours. And yeah, let's get to the round 6 recap. We hit the homie, another Filipino homie as well. I forgot his name. Oh crap, I forgot his name. He always has his Metazoo playmat, which is pretty funny. And we hit the homie playing this weird Joltik Miraidon fusion deck, you could say. They had Magnemites and Magnetons in the list, along with, you know, the Joltik stuff in there too. So they can do some cool plays, very similar to what happened against us with George in the previous round, where you could explode your Magneton and have a fully charged up Pikachu EX or even Iron Hands EX ready to attack. So if you guys don't know, Magnemite or Magneton doesn't just explode and gives energies to lightning Pokemon. It can be any type of energies to your lightning Pokemon. Some players think it's lightning only, but it can be whatever. So really good synergy in Joltik Box. We had a super close game against this Joltik Box 2.0, but we just weren't able to close it out in the end. I think I was just down to my last 2 prizes, and he was able to knock out whatever he wanted with the Pikachu EX by the end of the game. Final record for this tournament was unfortunately 3 wins and 3 losses. Our record, or our tournament standing placement, was 17th out of 41 players, and the winner of the tournament was actually our round 5 opponent, George, who ended up winning undefeated 6-0 with Joltik Box. So I saw recently too that Calvin Connor, another top player in the Pokemon trading card game, he actually won a pretty big online tournament as well with Joltik Box. So if you're a Joltik Box believer, I think it is honestly a really strong anti-meta pick right now. Miraidon decks are very much real right now. I think Turbo Miraidon is definitely getting some momentum because Jesse Parker did well in Toronto, so a lot of people are willing to pick up the Turbo Don deck again and give it a spin, which I think is a great idea. I'll be doing a deck profile. I'll actually be filming it later tonight. I'll be uploading the deck profile tomorrow morning, hopefully. So if you want to learn more about Turbo Miraidon. Joltik Box is really good too. The homie Sajin Park, I actually have my Pachirisu right here. I'll leave it on top of my webcam. Sajin Park, he is another Miraidon Joltik Box enjoyer, and he hit like 1920 or like high 1900s in Pokemon TCG Live the other week with Joltik Box, and this was before Ascended Heroes, but now, you know, Ascended Heroes, apparently Joltik Box is really damn good. So we're also going to do an updated Joltik Box deck profile too. So if you're a Miraidon fan, a Miraidon maniac like myself, now is a pretty good time to be picking up your Dawn and start using Tandem Unit a little bit before that rotation nerfs the decks and we lose Miraidon completely. Also, in some really bad and sad and unfortunate news, my channel sponsor, Comfy Hobbies, they actually got robbed again. This is the second time in like a month and a half that Comfy Hobbies has gotten robbed. So if you guys wanted to support the channel, support the store Comfy Hobbies, you know, shop at Comfy Hobbies, use code SneakerTalk. I don't know how many thousands of dollars of stuff got stolen. I feel really bad for Lex over there. But yeah, if you guys want to support the store that supports me the most, check out Comfy Hobbies and use code SneakerTalk. Also shout out to Endgame as well. Save some money on the best TCG sleeves. And if you're not looking to do any shopping, but you want to do some more watching, check out the Toronto regional vlog here or my video talking about cheaters right here.